welcome to the Summer Movie Series. The series where we're going to watch a movie every single week and look at and pick out different topics and themes and then discuss them through a biblical or Christian point of view. Now recently, a movie came out, produced by Disney, that was celebrated by critics and audiences alike. They loved the characters, the animation, the fact that they could sing along to their favorite songs. There was even a snowman that talked and sang about summer. And of course, the movie I'm talking about is Frozen. Now, people loved Frozen because it went away from the true love's first kiss scenario. In it, it was not the love or the kiss of a man who saved the day. It was the act of sacrificial love between the two sisters that was the act of true love. Now, never mind the fact that Olaf was willing to melt to save Anna, and that would have been an act of true love. Or the fact that Kristoff brought Anna back to her fiance and then left forever, which was also an act of true love. But never mind those two things. This was the act of sisterly sacrificial love, and everybody was excited about it. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it myself. However, there was a movie that came out before this movie that was also Disney that I had actually not seen until recently. Now, this movie flew under the radar, but it also had a strong female protagonist. It was a princess who was not happy with her stereotypically feminine roles. She had red hair, a Scottish accent, and of course I'm talking about the Princess Merida of the movie Brave. Now, this movie has it all. It has the spunky princess who's kind of fed up with her role. It has humor with the three brothers and all kinds of good one-liners. It has terrifying bears. It has a little bit of magic with a witch. It has a great storyline. Makes you laugh, makes you cry. It's got it all. So, get ready for Brave. Now, there are two main themes that I saw that were pervasive throughout this movie. Ironically enough, neither of them had to do with being brave or being courageous. The first one was about fate. And in it, Merida, she questions whether she has the possibility of basically ruling her own life, of deciding her own fate, or whether this was already made up for her. Is there some act in the universe, some force in the universe that has already decided her fate for her? Now, we won't necessarily get into that in this video. We can after the discussion of the movie, but we won't get to that in this video. In this video, I want to talk about the theme of relationship between parent and child. More specifically, the relationship between Merida, the daughter, and her mom, Eleanor. Now, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but in Brave, Merida is fed up with everything about her life. And, more importantly, her relationship with her mom. Merida feels so constricted, so suffocated by her mom, where she feels like everything she does is dictated to her. She doesn't have a choice in anything. She is told when to get up, what to do, how to act, what to think, what to say, what not to say, when to say it. And so this whole time, she feels like her mom, Eleanor, all she's doing is grooming her to be the queen, which Merida is not interested in. And all of the prim, proper etiquette aspects of her life are all grooming her to be the queen, the bride of a suitor whom she will not be picking. And so Merida is so frustrated by this, she hates it. Now Eleanor, the mom, she hates that Merida is so stubborn. She's rebelling all the time. Pretty much anything that the mom tells her to do, she does the opposite. She's as unladylike as can be. There's nothing about her that is getting ready to be the queen. Eleanor knows that this is a huge responsibility, and Merida is taking it very, very lightly, if not at all. Merida she's rambunctious, and not in a good way. She can be selfish, she can be petty, and so Eleanor is very frustrated with her daughter because she knows that being a queen is a big responsibility and it's very important. So Merida is so fed up with all of this that one day she runs away. She hates what her life's going to be. She hates what everyone's telling her to do, and so she runs away. And she ends up meeting a witch. And not to give anything away, but she asks for a spell that will change her relationship with she and her mom. And it happens. And since this movie is not 15 minutes long, we can guess that something bad happens, and they have to fix it along the way. Now there's a story in Luke 15, and you probably have heard of it, or maybe heard about it, and it's called the prodigal son, or the son who ran away. In this story, Jesus is telling there are two sons and a father, and the youngest son presumably kind of gets fed up with his life and thinks, I can do better than this. I don't want to be told what to do, or I don't want to be the younger son. I don't like this, and so he runs away. But what he finds out is that the outside world really isn't all he thought it was going to be. In fact, it's a pretty messed up and broken place. And so after all his money is spent and he's miserable, he comes home. Now, the youngest son is hoping, maybe my dad will just let me work it like a servant. I don't even have to be treated like a son. Maybe he'll just let me be treated as a servant, and he'll take me in. I can at least live here and be fed. But what happens is so very different, because it says that from far away off, his dad saw him, and his dad ran to him. Didn't wait for his son to come up, but he ran to him and he embraced him. And then he had the older son throw a huge feast for his younger brother because he had come home. Now at the end of Brave, and at the end of the story that Jesus tells about the prodigal son, the runaway son, everything is back to a good relationship between Merida, the daughter, and Eleanor, the mother, and between the prodigal son and the father. Everything's back to a good relationship. But that doesn't mean that everything is perfect in that relationship. That doesn't mean that everything is perfect and that nothing bad ever happens, that there are no more struggles or conflicts. With our parents and with our kids, there are going to be conflicts. Different times when we feel that we know best. But like in Brave, both sides have to be willing to listen to each other. And that's one thing that Merida and Eleanor both desire so much, is that the other person would just listen to them. Listen to why they think these things are so important to them. Are we listening to each other in our relationships with our parents and with our kids? Are we hearing what the other person has to say? Or like myself, usually I'm just waiting for the other person to stop talking so then I can interject my own opinion or what I feel about the situation at hand. Forgiveness plays such a huge role in all of this too. In the movie Brave, there has to be an act of forgiveness for things to move on, for the relationship to reconcile. And whether God is the father who's welcoming back the prodigal son, or whether God is the fierce mother who loves her daughter, loves her child with everything she has, there is an aspect of forgiveness alongside that. And because God forgives us, we can forgive others. We know we have our own shortcomings, but do we allow other people to have their shortcomings? Do I allow my child to be less than perfect? Do I allow my parents to be less than perfect? Are we willing to forgive what we see as something that's huge or massive? Are we willing to get past our own mistakes and stubbornness, past our parents or our child's mistakes and stubbornness? Are we willing to listen? Are we willing to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I can only take care of my side of this relationship. So this week, be thinking about your relationship with your student, with your kid, and be thinking about your relationship with your parents. Is it what it's supposed to be? Is it what you think it's supposed to be? How do you feel about it? Is it one-sided? Are you in the wrong? Are they in the wrong? Do you feel like it'd be better if there was something different? Something you could change? Prodigal son, he wanted to change something. Merida wanted to change something. So join us this week as we delve into Brave and explore the theme of relationships with our parents, relationships with our kids, and enjoy just a good movie. So please join us for the summer movie series, 5 to 8 p.m. on Sunday nights for high school and 5 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday nights for middle school. Hope to see you there. Thanks.